There's kind of a lot going on outside right now, so hopefully I can actually say what I came on to say. I did not think that I was going to be doing a whole lot of talking on manifestation, because I definitely do not feel like any type of guru or anything. But I do definitely have valid experience with it. I think we all do. But my perspective on it has changed. There's been things that I've learned through the manifesting community and the spiritual community, that while I think there's a lot of good advice there, I don't think that it necessarily covers some of the not fun parts. I noticed that there is of course the mention of you'll lose everything before you finally get your manifestation. Things will look like they're not working out and then you'll get it. Okay, well, that's what I can expect to see. But what about how I'm gonna feel? You're asking me to stay in this high vibration and stay positive while my world is falling apart? And then I'm left to feel guilty because I naturally feel anxious about it? So I think we need to talk about that. And whether or not that anxiety and that realization of what's going on in the 3D reality is actually hurting your manifestation or not, and keeping you from whatever you're trying to achieve or get. So to explain this, I actually kind of had like this epiphany, like download of a metaphoric example. That's kind of my thing, metaphors. I can about turn anything into a metaphor, and so this is of course going to be no different. Oh my gosh, allergies all the time, and my dog keeps pushing past my feet. Okay, so here's first off who this video is for. If you are somebody who has been trying to manifest your better life, you've been on a spiritual journey, you're following the cues, you're doing the work, you've gone through your mental blocks, of course there's going to be some that you don't find. Some of these are buried deep. I have so many that I'm still trying to dig out from within me, because they are so ingrained that even though I know better, I still get the anxiety. But if that's you and you keep finding yourself in this position where it's like, I'm doing the work, why is it not working? I'm getting really frustrated now. Then this might be helpful to you. So here's the example that I came up with. So if I were to decide that I wanted to go bungee jumping, or better yet, we want to jump out of a plane. I will be completely honest, I'm not going to be jumping out of a plane. Now I've put it out there. I do not plan to jump out of a plane under any circumstances. That does not sound fun to me. But let's pretend, okay, that this has come up. This is something that I have become very interested in, and that I'm going to go do that. Okay? Or that you're going to go do that. So you're probably going to do the research. Okay, you're a smart person. You're gonna do the research. You're gonna find a good place with good recommendations. You're not just gonna go anywhere to jump out of a plane. You're gonna find somebody who can help you do it safely, right? Duh. You're doing the work and you finally find the place that's gonna help you achieve this goal. And they jump out with you and no one has died. Okay? No one has died. So in this metaphor, the person who will be assisting you and teaching you and working with you the most, this is your higher self, God, spirit, whatever is your higher power that you are looking to. That's who the instructor and the person who jumps out of the plane with you, because I'm pretty sure someone jumps like connected to you. Someone please correct me if I'm wrong. Or don't, because I need the metaphor to work. But in this metaphor, the person that is going to be with you is that higher power, that all-knowing. Okay? This isn't just somebody that you have to guess. Do they know what they're talking about? No. They do have your best interest at heart. You chose them, okay? You can trust. You can trust. Knowing that you've done all the research and you've done all the work and you did all the practice and whatever else is required, now you're up on this plane and it's time to get ready to jump. And doubt sinks down within you. You're experiencing heart palpitations. You're dizzy. You shallow breath. You're shaking. Your legs suddenly don't work. You think you're gonna pass out. The person, the spirit guide, the instructor is still there. He's there and he's encouraging you. But you still feel that doubt. You still feel that anxiety, that intense, oh my God, what was I thinking? This is crazy. I'm gonna jump out of a plane? No freaking way I'm doing that. This was a mistake. This was wrong. No, I was wrong. So you have this feeling. Does that mean that the instructor, or the person, I keep calling him an instructor, but the person that's going to jump out with you, the person that is assigned to help you, strap onto you, and help you make a good, safe landing, and help you have a great experience, is this person going to immediately, oh, you want to do it? Sit back down. I mean, I've never been in this experience, but from the movies, looks like usually there's a bit of encouragement, okay? There is encouragement, but there is not pressure. So maybe they say, well, maybe they try to encourage you. You know, you wanted to do this. You know what to do. I'm right here with you. We're going to go down together. I'm going to tell you what to do every step of the way. All you have to do is follow the instructions that I gave you, and, you know, I've got you. Just because you know that, just because you know that you can trust this person, just because you know that they have done this a million times over, and maybe not a million, that was an exaggeration, but they've done it a lot, okay? And you can trust them. That doesn't mean that your body is not going to have a reaction. That doesn't mean that it makes sense to just pretend you're not scared. Oh, okay, well, I'm not scared. Oh, and the feeling goes away. No. Oh, my dog's interested in something. Of course you're going to be scared when it's time to really do the big thing, when the big thing is here, you're up in the sky, it's time. It's time. You're scared. Of course you're scared. You're terrified. You've been nervous the whole time. That doesn't mean that you're not in the right vibe for it. That doesn't mean that you're not somebody who could jump out of a plane if you wanted to. Just because you're scared, just because you're scared, just because you're nervous, just because your body's having a reaction, just because you're having doubt, does that mean that you'll never do anything? No, it does not. I'm so tired of hearing stay in the right vibration, but nobody talks about, okay, well, that vibration still comes with some fear and anxiety. I'm still dealing with fear and anxiety. And that does not mean that I'm not in the right vibe. It doesn't mean that I'm not doing it right because I'm having a very human reaction to the choice that I've made or the things that are happening around me. And maybe you don't decide to jump out of the plane. Maybe you decide, no, I thought I was ready. I'm here. There's nothing you could say to make me jump out of that plane. That's okay. You have free will. Yes, I don't care what anyone says. You have free will. Yes, you could decide, I'm not jumping out of the plane. No one's going to push you. You come back down. Chances are you're gonna wish you had jumped out of the plane, and you're gonna go back, and you're gonna go back through the training. And guess what happens when you're back up in the air, ready to jump again? Guess what happens? You feel all the anxiety again. It didn't go away. You're still afraid to jump out of a plane. Duh. You're in the same spot that you were before, except for now you've kind of processed, okay, this time I think I want to try to work through some of that fear. This time I'm going to do it anyway. So I guess the point that I want to make is that, one, the universe, God, spirit, your guides, your higher self has your back. They have your back. They're okay if you decide that I don't think I was as ready as I said I was. I'm so sorry. They're not mad at you. They are not mad at you. The instructor is not going to be mad at you. It's a lot to jump out of a plane, okay? They're not going to be mad at you, okay? They're not going to be mad at you if you say, I'm so sorry, I'm just not ready. It's okay. Okay? They figure you'll be back, and if you're not, okay. But they figure you'll be back. You'll feel the pull to come back. They know that. The universe, we're just going to say the universe. It makes it easier for me. The universe knows you'll be back. It knows that you'll be ready eventually. And it is the most patient mentor, guide that you will ever encounter. But it has your back. The only thing that I think really hurts you the most is when you experience that fear, that anxiety, and that body reaction and that mind reaction, and all of the doubt kicks in, all of that ego that's trying to protect you and keep you alive starts firing off at full blast, like hitting the big red button in your brain. If you react to that with, oh, you're right. You're right. Ego is always right. I can't do this. That was a sign that I wasn't meant for that. This is a sign that I'm not a person who jumps out of a plane, because people that jump out of planes are never scared and they're never anxious. They wouldn't be feeling like I'm feeling. When you start making believe that who you are is so much different from the person that you are trying to be, or what you do makes you so much different from someone doing something you want to do, well, there's the separation. That's the separation. I do believe in vibrations and frequencies, but I think that sometimes we get so stuck in thinking about what's my vibe, what's my vibration, that I think that it makes it more difficult to understand what you actually need to do. And that is to learn to listen to your intuition. Easier said than done, because ego is strong and it wants to keep you alive, and it is going to fight. It's gonna fight. Sorry, there is an ant on my phone. But if you can experience what you're experiencing, you can experience that fear, you can sit in that fear, you can have all of the negative feelings and still believe that you are who you want to be, that you are going to do what you said you were going to do. If you can say, oh, I'm terrified to jump out of this plane, I'm going to do it anyway. Even if that means I scream all the way down, even if that means I piss my pants, I'm jumping out of this damn plane. That is where you need to be to achieve what you're trying to achieve. And that is not me pressuring you and saying, well, you're wrong if that's not what you're able to do right now. There's a lot of times I'm not able to do that. I can't tell you how many times in life I chicken out about little stuff, about money, about career changes. Yeah, I struggle with all kinds of stuff. I'm struggling right now with a lot of stuff. There's a lot of things in my life that I have managed to jump out of the plane for, despite all of the anxiety and all of the doubt. Apologies that I've made, people I've talked to that I thought, oh my God, there's no way I'm making a mistake. They are not going to react well. Posting these videos, terrified to put myself out there. I put myself out there, and by the end of the night, I'm so damn anxious about who's seen this video. Oh my God, what if a lot of people see it? What if I get negative comments? What if somebody gets on here and says, you're wrong, you're just plain wrong, stop spreading misinformation? Like, that's a real fear that comes up in me, and I posted anyway. I am not in the wrong vibration because I experience a very human emotion, because I had fear. That doesn't even make any sense. You're asking me not to be human so that I can manifest? I mean, to an extent, yes, tap into your higher self and your non-human self, but this is an integrated experience. So you can't ask me to not experience the human side while I'm trying to manifest things into a human world. Hell, for all I know, this is a thrill for higher me. This is a thrill. It's hard to see it that way right now, but that just came into my mind. But I really just wanted to drive the point home that being scared is not, in my opinion and in my experience, that is not what is holding up your manifestations. That is not what is holding you up and keeping you from having the things. I didn't think that I live in the house that I live in right now. My house doesn't make sense. It's ridiculous that I live here. I'm a low-income person living in a house that I would consider to be very middle class. And it is my dream house. Of course, now I've been thinking about moving lately. into something that fits me better, I can feel that there is an ascension happening with me. And now I'm struggling with that. But there was a time where I was struggling with what I have now. There was a time I didn't think I could have anything that I have now. I didn't think my relationship could look the way it looks now. I didn't think that I could live in the house that I live in now. I didn't think that I would have the yard that I have. I didn't think that I would have the car that I have. There are so many things. So many things. The wardrobe that I have. I just didn't think that I could have these things. And yet I do. And I would be lying if I said, oh, I just stayed in a high vibration and followed all the manifestation rules. No, I had doubt so often I thought it couldn't happen. So often I was convinced, oh, I am wrong. So often. But as often as I could, I held on to the belief anyway. But there's a chance it could. Right? There's a chance it could. Why not me? I could have it too. I'm still picturing it. I'm stubborn. So I decided, I dug in my heels of like, I don't care if it doesn't make sense. I want to have it. And you can't stop me from at least pretending that I could have it. But yeah, the fear, the anxiety, the doubt, the crying, gosh, why isn't it here yet? Why am I stuck in this life that I'm in right now? That happened a lot. It happens now. Now that I'm trying to manifest something bigger and better and insane, it feels the same. It's the same fear, the same anxiety. I feel like I'm being asked to jump out of a plane. That does not mean I'm not getting what I want. I know that. I know that for a fact. And maybe that's the vibration. It's that I can feel all of this crap. I can feel all this humanness and still, I mean, I guess we don't know, but hope. I can at least still hope for it. I can still picture it in my brain. I can still make a Pinterest board. You can't stop me from dreaming it. It's when you decide, oh gosh, I feel like I just had an idea. Lost it immediately. It's when you don't allow yourself to imagine something for yourself or to want something because you're scared. I think that's what blocks the belief that you couldn't ever have it. No, that's not how I wanted to word that. It's not allowing yourself to even imagine it. It's the pretending you wouldn't even want it. I feel like there's so many examples of this. There are so many things even now that I recall sometimes and think, I don't allow myself to think that. I don't allow myself to think that I could have $1 million. It doesn't feel safe. That though, definitely working to challenge that one. How silly. How silly. I don't allow myself, or hadn't allowed myself to imagine owning a boat. For a long time, I convinced myself, I think I'm gonna live here forever. There were times I lived in apartments and I had started to get too comfortable thinking, maybe this could be forever. I did not want to live there. There were so many problems. No, I should not have stayed there forever. But it's when I finally let go of that and decided, maybe I'm just gonna imagine something better. Maybe I can't have it, but I'm gonna let myself want it anyway. When you can feel safe to want something, I think that's really all it is. Just let yourself want it. Even though it's scary, even though it doesn't make sense, even though it gives you heart palpitations when you think about wanting it, and how that's going to lead to the worst form of disappointment you've ever felt in your life. Want it anyway. I feel like want is a frequency in and of itself. And if you really allow yourself to entertain the idea of having it, I think you're off to a good start. But not allowing yourself to even want something at all and just pretend that you want the opposite, I think that's probably one of the more harmful things that you can do. Getting up in the plane and then deciding, I don't think I ever wanted to jump out of a plane. Well, if you convince yourself of that, you're never gonna jump. You'll never jump. You'll never experience the greatest high of your life, so they say. You won't feel that air. You won't get that view. Whatever it was, whatever the reason was that you just felt like you needed to jump from that plane, you're not gonna get that experience because you decided that, I don't think I wanted it after all. And it wasn't because you didn't want it. It was because it felt safer to tell yourself that you didn't want it. So hopefully that is helpful. Truly. Again, I'm going through this too. I go through this in cycles. I think that's probably how it's going to be every time that I'm trying to do something big or achieve something big or make a big change in my life. I think I'm always going to hit this crossroads. I think we all will. There'll always be that point of, oh, I feel scared. Is it safe to even want this for me? And I think the best thing that you can do is learn to just sit in that discomfort, breathe through it, and try to hear your higher guide. Try to remember why you wanted it in the first place and let yourself want it. That is my best advice around manifesting right now. And something, again, I'm working on it. I really am. Really am. I'm right there with you. I love you. I hope this video helped. Bye for now.